So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. How are you? Come on in. Ooh-wee. I have a simple goal today for you, if that's okay. You don't have to take this if you want to, but this is my wish and my desire, that you will do more of what you love to do and less of what you don't like to do. Pretty simple stuff, right? It's amazing how many people spend their entire life doing things they don't like to do. And I don't believe in that. I believe let's go ahead and get that out of the way and stay focused on what makes us happy, right? We'll talk about that today. I had a conversation with a client who had set a goal to do just that with a big penalty if he didn't get there. Ouch. I don't like penalties as motivation. We'll talk about that, okay? I think you'll get a lot, particularly if you're going for a big goal today. I think you'll get a lot out of this. It is the Daily Boost. It's me, Scott Smith. Thanks for stopping by today. A lot of people grabbing that perfect week planner. Before we get started, if you want it, just hit me up on Instagram at @FaceYourPassion. Type the word planner in. I'll send it to you right away. You get it instantly. I don't delay. And if you do want to do email, go old school like I would. Just go to perfectweekplanner.com. and do the thing, and you'll get the thing. How's that? I spent a lot of time working on goals with people, breaking through. We just had a conversation a moment ago about what's blocking you, and it's pretty interesting what people were saying, what was blocking them. A random out-of-the-blue statement. We started the call. Within 2 or 3 minutes, I said, big question, what's blocking you? And that was the entire hour. And it was crazy. People would stop and think about it, and then they would come up with it. And as the conversation went on, I was thinking to a conversation I had yesterday, and he was on the call today as well, about setting a big goal and moving toward it, which we're doing all day, every day. And I don't care what you're doing. You want to be happy? You want to be sad? You want to make money? You want to be successful? Whatever. It's a goals involved. And he had a big deadline. He set a deadline. Now, let me tell you about deadlines. I don't like them. You know why? Because they make me work hard. Ick. I don't like deadlines. And I'm guessing you wouldn't like them either, right? But man, are they powerful. Having a deadline is great. And having a deadline that's compressed, that's very, like, oh, how am I going to do this? You know you're going to fill it, right? Parkinson's law says that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So if you have 6 months to do it, but you say, I'm going to do it in a month, the truth is, if you don't really set a deadline for a month, it's going to take 6 months. That's all there is to it. Deadlines are really good. But here's something else that we ran into yesterday, and that was talking about setting a goal of something that would happen if you didn't reach your goal. Does that make sense? In other words, he had set an idea. I'm going to do this. I only have this amount of time to get there. I got to get it done because if I don't, this is going to happen. It was bad. It was financially really bad. It was it was a lot of money. If I don't get this done by then I'm going to have to spend all this money and I can't spend the money. So everything changes at that point. He was building a business, right? That's what the deal is. So let me start with this saying, great idea to try to say, ooh, if I don't get there, this is bad. That's going to happen. But fear generally does not motivate us. Let me pause for a second. Let that sink in for you. Fear does not motivate you. Scott, it does. I have been motivated by fear many times. I ran away from a snake that was going to bite me. I get it. In most cases is what I said. So if we impose a big scary thing upon us that's kind of just self-imposed, is it real or is it not? Because fear only motivates if it's real. Most people who put this arbitrary thing on them, if I don't do this, this is what's going to happen. It's not a big deal. First off, it's probably not going to hurt you anyway. You wouldn't have done that. And secondly, you don't have to do it. Okay, so as a pilot, you will hear me talk about runways and stuff a lot. Runways are kind of fun. They're scary all at the same time. Some of them are short, some of them are long. And basically you have a lot of different kinds of runways, but let's go into the two kinds of runways that pilots will run into all the time. One is a regular runway. It's a long runway. It could be any length. It could be 5,000, could be, 12, 14,000. I think they get the Space Center down at Kennedy. I think it's like 5 miles long. Runway can be very long, or it can actually be very short. And pilots learn to take off and land on a short field, a short runway. So let me explain short first, and let me reference it in terms of how my client was setting a goal. So he'd set a goal, go after something that was making a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. And what he told me was at a certain time, if he didn't make that kind of money, he had a big financial obligation he was not going to be able to meet, and time was going to run out and he would be done. He had no choice but to make it by then. It seemed really like, yeah, that would motivate me, right? But no, it doesn't. So what's going to happen is when you do a short field runway, and I'll get back to that here in a second, and when you're on a short run up and you know what you have to do, the way you do it is this. You put all the power on, you put your foot on the brakes, the power is on, the flaps are down, you're ready to go. And when you're ready, you pop those feet off the brakes and you go as fast as you can and you take off as fast as you can and you go fast. But funny, when it's a self-imposed bad thing. See, on a short runway, normally in an airplane, you'd run off the field and crash. That's real. But in real life, when you set a goal, are you going to run off the field and crash? Not really. What ends up happening is you kind of ease up the power a little bit and you start heading the direction and all along saying, I have urgency. I've got to get here by now. Yet you're not acting that way. Why is that? Now, the reason you're not is because we have what I would now call the long runway. I learned this, 15 years ago in Australia. I was in a coaching session, a seminar, and I asked a question, and I learned a lesson that day when I asked a question by the answer. Here's what a long runway is.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
When the short runway, when you're going toward it and you get there and you get to this self-imposed thing that's going to happen if you don't get it, it's not real, then you know it. Suddenly your runway gets longer. I had a client in the audience and he was trying to leave his business that he was in and he was trying to go to an independent business of some type. I forget which kind it was. And so a question is very common for me to ask my clients without getting very particular with them. I will say, okay, so with no income, how long can you make it? Fair question, right? I need to kind of have that information. And he said, I don't know, 9 months or something? And by the way, it's a really common thing. Most people, it's 9 months to a year. They'll tell me that. Lots of times because they have severance or something that's there. So he said, yeah, about 9 months. I'd be fine. We could continue to live my exact lifestyle for about 9 months. So I got to do it in 9 months. Short runway, right? Got to do it in 9 months. I know not likely to happen. And the reason is because then I would say, okay, let's rephrase the question. If you got to do it in 9 months, but it didn't work out, it didn't happen, how long could you go I mean, financially, without working again, putting full-time into your business, how long can you go without making a penny? How long could you go? And he'd say, well, I have to think about that. And I said, give up your house. You're going to sell your house. Maybe get a second mortgage if you're not going to sell it. You're going to pull from your 401ks. You're going to borrow from your grandma. You're going to sell everything you have. Go on. The list is long. How long can you go? He said, I don't know, years, probably. And ultimately, he came up to me. He said, 15 years. I figure I've got enough assets. I can go 15 years. So let me ask you a question. What happened to that very intensive, big-ass deadline? That short thing, I got to get it done now. I got to do it in 9 months. Is there any reason that you can think of why he wouldn't do it in 9 months? A client yesterday said, I got to do it in 9 months. My wife will not allow it. I said, you don't know that. She is not the woman then that she is now. Now, today, she may not because she doesn't have to. But when she gets there, it may be okay. How long is your runway? Are you burning the short one you have right now? Because, you know, the penalty is not that bad. You can survive it. So why not? When it gets real, when you know you're going to crash and burn, when it gets real, you will hit your deadline every single time. It is true. See it all the time. Compress it, make it real. I don't like those motivators at all. I tend to go the other way. I tend to find something that's really big and exciting. Like, just buy a new motorcycle, buy a cool car or something like that, all right? What kind of car do you want? Last year I wanted a Corvette. I did. This year I'm confused. I don't want one. Besides, I don't have those tight denim shorts those guys like to wear. I just don't want to do. It's not a look that I want to do these days. But anyway, so that's something fun you'll go for. You heard me talk about the planner, just the Perfect Week Planner. It's really simple. It's very good. You should use it. It'll save you so much time. Hit me up on Instagram if you're there, at Face Your Passion. Just type the word planner in the DM, or perfectweekplanner.com as well. Tomorrow we're going to dig into using your brain, your default brain, the easy brain, the one that actually works all the time versus the focus one you have trouble with. We're going to dig into focus tomorrow. Hang on.